Alors voilà ton tuto de prononciation aujourd'hui. Là, on va faire quelque chose de un peu différent. So your pronunciation tuto today, we're going to do something a little bit different. Taking this out of the grammar book, you know, you're very familiar with now, your grammar book. And I'm looking at chapter 26 in there. And we're just going to have a look at actually just the pronunciation of verbs as they go through the different subjects. So je, tu, il, elle, nous, etc. So because there's some interesting things, because I think if you can get the sound in your ear about how it sounds, that's going to help you to conjugate it correctly. So we're just looking at this in the present tense. So we're going to start off with verbs that work like finir. So if I scroll down to the bottom of this page here, you'll notice that there's lots of lines through the last consonant at the end of these words. And we're just going to notice how we don't say those. So, je finis, tu finis, il finit. Nous finissons, vous finissez, ils finissent. So we're not saying the S and we're not saying the T in the singular, the je, tu, and il. But also something else to notice is in the plural, we've got this double S going on, and it's a long S. So nous finissons, it's a really good S sound. Nous finissons, vous finissez, and ils finissent. And just remember that when you get the NT on the end of verbs in the conjugation in French, you don't say that NT, but that's on verbs. It doesn't mean on all words that you don't pronounce that last bit, but it's on verbs. But we do get the E, the use of the E, because that's how we get the S sound. So do you want to just have a read through that and just practice your pronunciation all the way through for that? Good. Okay, so we're also going to get that, we'd get that in other verbs that work like finir. So j'applaudis, tu applaudis, il applaudit. Nous applaudissons, vous applaudissez, ils applaudissent. But there's also some other verbs like these ones, like naître, connaître, and paraître, and they work the same way. But what we're looking out for is this double S sound as well. Right, so now we have a look at these verbs, other types of IR verbs, and we're just going to notice that we're not going to pronounce the S's or the T's on the end, but we will pronounce that T when we have some other letters after it. So let's have a look. So je pars, tu pars, il part, nous partons, vous partez, ils partent. So we can actually pronounce those T's quite clearly when we have some consonants after them. So nous partons, vous partez, ils partent. And again, we're not getting the NT there, but we're using the E to pronounce that T. Do you want to have a go at pronouncing that verb there? Très bien. And then I'll just pop back up here. So the same idea, S, S, T. And then we've got the M in here. We're going to hear that M. So don't be afraid to go all the way and finish the word. Quite often, because we don't hear the end consonant, people are not really sure where to cut off. We want to finish the word. It's just on the third person plural, this one, where we don't pronounce the NT, but we do use that E. So it would be je dors, tu dors, il dort. Nous dormons, vous dormez, ils dorment. Do you want to have a go at saying that one? Very good. And same logic again now. So, je sers, tu sers, il sert. Nous servons, vous servez, ils servent. You want to have a go at that one as well? Nice. Okay. Works pretty much all the way through now. We're going to have the same patterns happening, but let's practice them together. So we've got the infinitive there, mettre. That's the infinitive. But when it's conjugated, we're not going to pronounce that T, because we've got mettre, because we've got the RE, so we can pronounce those double T's. But when we've got the S, we're not going to pronounce that T. We're not going to hear that. So you can see it just here with a line through it, through the T, with a line through that T, and a D and a D. There's a line through it, so that we don't pronounce it. So it's mettre is the infinitive, and then it's je mets, tu mets, il met, nous mettons, vous mettez, ils mettent. And we'll just notice there's a double T there, and then we have ONS after, so that allows us to then say it. Do you want to have a go at pronouncing that one? Very good. Likewise, we're not going to pronounce the D in here. So we would in the infinitive, entendre. Entendre, we're going to get the RE sound after that. But we don't hear that when we start conjugating. So j'entends, tu entends, il entend. Nous entendons, we will finish it. Vous entendez, ils entendent. We can say that D sound there because we've got an E after it, see? So we can say the E. So we got that. Nous entendons, vous entendez, ils entendent. Okay, do you want to have a go at saying those ones? Bravo, très bien. And that would be the same for all of these verbs that are listed here. They're going to follow a similar pattern. I'm just going to draw your attention to attendre in this list, because sometimes people feel like it sounds almost similar to entendre, but we've got the en sound there, on, and then we've got an a at the beginning of the word. We're going to go ah. So we're going to make an effort to really make that ah sound. So j'attends, this is for attendre. So j'attends, tu attends, il attend, nous attendons, vous attendez, ils attendent. Okay, do you want to have a go at using the same logic, same pattern? But we're going to use it for the verb attendre and really make that ah nice and clear. Well done. And then you just notice these other verbs, same idea, that we're just going to follow. We're not going to say the sounds on the top line, but we will on the second. And some more examples. So notice with écrire, is the infinitive, but j'écris, tu écris, il écrit. Nous écrivons, we get a V there, introduced. Nous écrivons, vous écrivez, ils, elles écrivent. Again, we're not saying that NT. Do you want to have a go at saying that écrire is the infinitive and then running through all of those? Right. Très bien, très bien. The next one then, lire. Do you want to have a go at saying that one, running that through? Just test out how you think it would be said. Now, did you remember that when you have a single S, so we had double S earlier with finissons, for example, with a double S, but when you have a single S, it's more of a Z-y sound, actually, in French. So, nous lisons, vous lisez, ils lisent. And obviously we go back to there. Je lis, tu lis, il lit. Nous lisons, vous lisez, ils lisent. And just we got that over here for prédire. Well, we could use it for dire as well. So for dire, to say, it would be je dis, tu dis, il dit, nous disons, vous disiez, ils disent. There's a Z sound in that S for both of those verbs. All right, let's try conduire, to drive, conduire. So that's the infinitive. So you're getting really familiar with this pattern now. So that S is going to be a Z sound, a Z sound in here. So see if you can anticipate, how would you pronounce that all the way through? Good, so je conduis, tu conduis, il conduit, nous conduisons, vous conduisez, ils conduisent. Right, good. And then the last one we're going to have a look at is peindre, to paint. Now, this is funny, actually. It's a funny sound because it changes quite different. It's quite different in the plural to the singular. So, je peins, tu peins, il peint. That EIN sound is the same as the sound that we have for bread, as in AIN. So it's exactly the same, actually. So, je peins, tu peins, il peint. But then it changes. We get this G in there. How are we going to pronounce that G? So it's nous peignons. Nous peignons, vous peignez, il peigne. So quite different. So let's just do that one again. So the infinitive is peindre. So a bit like bread. Je peins, tu peins, il peint. And in the plural, with that G in there, it changes to nous peignons, vous peignez, il peigne. Très bien. Hope you found that useful. Just a little bit of revision maybe for some people and some maybe brand new for others. Merci beaucoup d'être là. Et puis, je te remercie. Et puis, à bientôt. À la prochaine. Au revoir. Au revoir.